It's a nice Roman. Yeah, it is a Roman, but that reverse, don't know.
I've never seen one with a reverse like that. Well, it seems ages since Paul and myself have been out with the Deus one, so we decided to get them both charged up and give the old Roman sight a try, and that's where we are today. Deus one, HF round coil. And as you can hear, we've got plenty of iron.
78, nice yeah, nice.
Sounds good. So Paul's using the Sonar program.
Sonar.
I'm using the full tones. Oh, you got to dig that, mate. That's brilliant. So the full tones is, as many of you know, a multi-tone. It's a sliding scale, whereas the Sonar program, or the Ultimate program, they just use a two-tone, low tone for iron, high tone for the good targets. That's a lovely piece of lead there, Paul.
Lovely, look at that.
I'm glad I didn't dig that. Now, in a while, I will be switching to my Ultimate program, and at the end of this video, I'll run you through both the programs, so you can put them into your Deus one if you want.
All the iron there.
Yeah.
Put this.
Oh, you've got to have a look at that one, I think. Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
What is it?
Little green one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's a little,
a little Roman.
A little grotty, but
yeah.
How did that come through right next to that?
Look, that big iron. I thought it might have been a hobnail, so well done, you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little squeaker. Sounds all right, doesn't it? Right, let's nip over to the Ultimate. The Ultimate, because it's a two-tone program, is cut out all that sort of fringe noise. Don't know, could you call it harmonics? Don't know, have a listen. Ground noise, isn't it? So, if we wanted to cut out the ground noise, we would go to discrimination, raise it up from -6.4 to something like, I don't know, 2.5. So 2.5 minus 2.5 to -6.4 is your ground feedback. Can you hear that feedback from the probe? It's on the end of my probe. Can you see it there? Look. Tiny little Roman coin. Excellent. I don't know what it is. I think it's too far gone. But maybe it'll clean up. Who knows? So, as you heard there, my MI6 is complaining because it's picking up the machine. So what do we do to get rid of that? Menu, frequency, expert, 28.29. Just shift it. There you go. It's got rid of it now. So if I save that now as a new program, it would remember the frequency settings and it won't interfere with your probe again.
75, look at that XY screen.
Beautiful.
Got to have a look. I don't think it's lead, but on a leady slope.
Trouble is with these Roman sites, there's so much lead on them, but it's just, you know, they were working it all the time and using it. Here we go.
Oh, we're not going to. I missed it. A little bit of green.
Ooh. Go on, go on, go on.
That's somewhere. Oh, I'm going to take my gloves off. Little bit of greens, not bad.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Should clean up.
87. Let's try the Ultimate program. Just as good, isn't it? Yay! I can see something just there, look. Just there. Don't know what it is. Definitely Roman. Roman's a Roman. Okay, what I think I'll do now is I'll switch over to the ultimate program and we'll have a walk around with that and just see if it pulls out any other targets. To me, that ultimate program sounded a little bit cleaner on this particular piece of land. Here we go then, ultimate program. Now, just like the hot program, with this program we're using minus 6.4 discrimination. So we're accepting the ground. Personally, I like it that way because it gives me a two-way conversation, doesn't it, with the machine? It's constantly keeping you on your toes. But if you didn't want to hear the ground, just go up to, say, minus 2.5, something like that. So you're still hearing a lot of the iron, but you've cut the ground out. See? So that's the setup Paul's using at the moment, because you don't want to hear all the ground bubbling away, but you're still hearing all that small iron and big iron. This Deus one is running absolutely perfectly now. Paul and I were just talking about how effortless they are to use. There's something right next to it. Now that's perfect. Right, the signal's bouncing, so I don't think it's very deep. Can you hear it when I say bouncing? It's did it. That's bouncing like a double bleep. There you go. Yee-hee. It's another little Roman. Let me take my gloves off because I can't really clean it up. I know I shouldn't be rubbing these things, but you know what it's like. Well, I can definitely see something on that side. I don't think that's Roman, you know. I think that's Celtic. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to give Paul a shout and see what he has to say.
Has he got a radiate head on? Oh, hold on. There's a head coming, Roman.
Yeah,
it's
so
lovely
I had.
condition.
Yeah,
it's a nice Roman. Yeah, it is a Roman, but that reverse, don't know.
I've never seen one with a reverse like that, but.
Oh, hold on. There's a deer.
See that? If that's
that
a deer, that's more Celtic, isn't it?
It's a deer. There's a deer there. I think it's Roman.
Okay.
Without my glasses, but it's a lovely little coin.
That's an interesting one. If you guys know what coin that is, why not post in the comments below? Save me doing all the hard work then, wouldn't it? Well, if you want to hone your metal detecting skills and spend a day with me, don't forget I'm doing the one-to-one metal detecting tuition days, and you can find all the information over on the Skill School website, and I'll post the links in the section below. Here's one. Would you dig this target? Obviously there's no XY involved. 97's coming up on the old guessometer. Personally, I think it's a yes from me. Don't know. What do you think? Okay, so we've got just a total flat XY, a little dot really. But there's that ghosty sound to it, and when it's ghosty, it either means it's small or deep. Now the XY's changed to 67. Now it's out the ground. It was small indeed. Right, Oh dear, it's it looks to me like a Roman minim. So let me just get my gloves off and we'll have a closer look at this. So there it is. You know, sometimes they've got a really good portrait on them. Although a small coin, someone's put a lot of work into these. And very often they weren't used as currency. Sometimes they were used as offering to the gods. So if you said dig that, it's still a viable machine for these Roman sites. What do you think?
Definitely. Lovely to be on the single frequency. I like the Deus too and all that, but it's just nice to take this one out, charge them up and get out and do what it does well.
It is, and you know, it never fails to surprise me, this little machine. If anyone sort of wants to get into the hobby, I'll always say just take a look at the Deus one, because although it's been going for quite some time, I think it's been going for quite some time for a reason, don't you?
Definitely. It's tried and tested, isn't it?
It is. Some of those deep targets, it's got its own little signature sound which you've got to learn, but I mean, it is a reliable workhorse. That's the only way to describe it.
Especially on the ancient sites, you know, lots of iron about, as you've probably heard in the video, but them signals just tweak through, don't they? They just come through and you've got to investigate them.
So if you want to know what programs we were using, obviously the hot program with a couple of tweaks, and the Sonar program for Paul, and I was using the Ultimate program. So the Ultimate and Sonar are very, very similar. So let's get back to the office and just talk about these settings. Okay, before I start, I'm just going to turn down the sensitivity just for EMI really. So let's start. At the top, discrimination -6.4. Okay, expert, tones, 3 tones, expert 202, drop that down to 202. Drop the next one down, 881. So we've got 202, 202 and 881, because this very top one, top discrimination, -6.4, we've actually thrown that away, but we need to introduce another iron tone, so that's what the second bar is. But as you can see up there, we've got a tone break which is quite high, so we need to drop that down. So press that again and it says 76, so just drop that down to 9. Okay, so that's it. 202, 202, 881, tone break is 9. That's all done. Sensitivity, obviously I've got it turned down because I'm indoors at the moment, but run that between 90 and 95. Frequency, I tend to go for middle, sort of 25, 30s. Iron volume, turn that off because we're not using that discrimination iron tone. Reactivity, 3. Now if you're using the Sonar program, you want to put the reactivity at 4. But on the Ultimate program it's 3. Audio response 4, that's a good setting, I quite like that. If you want more of a perception of depth, like the ghosty deep targets, put it on 3. But if you're searching for like shallow coins and small stuff amongst iron, I think a higher audio response is probably a good choice. Down one more notch and we're back to discrimination. So that's pretty good. So all we have to do is go back in there now, options, go down to configuration, select, go down to profile, select, and we don't want the horseshoe, we don't want that one, we want the XY screen. So now when we get a target, that is my ultimate program. So just save it as ultimate in an empty memory slot. And then just rename it using the plus and minus keys.